hope that some of your friends and family are able to join us on the YouTube. So welcome, friends and family, and thank you so much for your support. And it's really exciting. Graduation is always really exciting for us. I just want to take an opportunity to thank you all for being just such a wonderful group to facilitate. I've been so impressed with all of your dedication and hard work over the past few weeks. You've made my job really easy, just being so engaged, and your participation. I think I'm muted there, so I just unmuted myself. But yeah, I really enjoyed getting to know you all, and I hope that you keep in contact with me. So we just kind of go over how it's going to look today. We do have a few people who would like to speak with you after the swearing in. And then at the very end, you'll have an opportunity to meet with your supervisors. So we will stop the live stream at that point, and you'll go off into your breakout groups. So we're going to kick off with introducing the judge, and you're actually familiar with this judge because he volunteered to speak at our session 1. He is a great supporter of CASA LA. Judge Seidler, hello.
Hi everyone. I'm really up this early. Gosh, it's like so weird. Hi, nice to see you all. Anything exciting to like ask me now that you've finished your entire coursework and you have me back here again? Questions or thoughts? I'm here. Oh, come on, really? Okay, did I tell any stories about true life CASA stories to your class? I think I didn't because we ran out of time.
Yeah, you didn't, dude.
Okay, and I do have to give a disclaimer before swearing you in and before telling you these true life CASA stories and how great the life and job of a CASA can be, that not all CASA cases are as intense and in-depth as the 2 that I'm going to share with you, but as long as I have you and we're talking about the volunteer work you're doing, which for your friends and family, I must say is some of the most fulfilling work that you could ever do at volunteer work, because not only does it impact the child or children you're working with, but it impacts you as well. I had one child on my caseload, and there have been articles written about him, and we talk about confidentiality and dependency court, so that's why I feel comfortable talking about him. He was severely physically abused as an infant or toddler, was in the hospital, wasn't clear if he was ever going to be able to walk again, didn't have a lot of upper strength mobility, and the first CASA was on the case for about a year, and the second CASA got on the case, and she was the one who found out about an assisted walking device, a gait trainer that he'd be eligible for, how to get it for him, arranged for him to have it. Eventually, the social workers found a potential adoptive mother in Illinois, and the CASA started having her by telephone or speakerphone, or even just speakerphone on the CASA's phone, participating in every hospital meeting regarding the child. And the CASA had the foster mom come out and visit the child. Eventually, he was placed with her in Illinois, and his name was Dodger before he was adopted. And when we did the adoption, we did it by Skype in my chambers, and Lynn was there, and his CASA was there, and all over their house in Illinois were Dodger banners. So I always say it was Dodger Day in Illinois. A few years later, his CASA, Jan, showed me a picture of him around 11 years old with leg braces on, walking on a Tommy Hilfiger runway in New York. A couple of years ago, I was visiting Jan before she passed away, and she got him on the phone. And at that point, he was now playing ice hockey, sled hockey, where he sits in a sled and someone pushes while he plays hockey. He was about to go from Illinois to Florida for a hockey tournament, and had met a couple of members of the US Paralympics hockey team and had autographed jerseys. And this is a kid who, that one CASA in his life early on really made a difference, and continued to stay in his life even after his adoption. And then the other one I want to tell you about is there are cases where I always feel like I, as the judge, did something wrong. The kid who was in numerous group homes. And this case was a kid who at 9 years old was in group homes. And we try to avoid group homes at all costs, but for a 9-year-old, that's pretty rare. And he had mild autism and some anger issues. And his CASA got assigned, and she'd only had daughters and was a little concerned about meeting a little boy, found out that he likes bugs. So the first time she went to visit him at the group home, she took a couple of books about bugs, and they totally hit it off. And over the years, she would ask me for 1 million court orders, and the social workers thought she was a pain. And there was one order that she would ask for that I would always make, which was no matter how far he was moved from his group home, that he be transported to his Boy Scout meetings. And what I hadn't realized was it was the CASA who actually knew he needed some activity, knew he liked uniforms, and got him involved in the Boy Scouts. And at some point, a mom in the Boy Scouts took an interest in him, and the CASA did what was needed to get her approved to transport him to the meetings. Got her approved for visits, eventually got her approved for placement. After a couple of years, she was moving to Alameda County. He ended up going back into the group home. And then at some point, he went back to live with her in Alameda County. And his Eagle Scout project was actually in Alameda County. And there's an aircraft carrier museum there, the USS Hornet. And his Eagle Scout project was creating 8 gorgeous wooden pew benches for their chapel that's open to the public on weekends, that had those horrible, 3-chair attached things. And for his Eagle Scout ceremony on my birthday, like 3 years ago, his CASA and her husband and my husband and I flew up to the Bay Area for his Eagle Scout ceremony that was on the USS Hornet Aircraft Carrier Museum. And at that point, he'd been holding down a job for a year at Bed Bath & Beyond or Home Depot. And when it came time to get his Eagle Scout badge, it wasn't like the Scoutmaster or a former Eagle Scout that gave him his Eagle Scout badge. He had his CASA come up and put on his Eagle Scout badge. He, about a year or two ago, aged out of the system at 21, was in the Sea Scouts, had another job he was holding down, and having that one person who connected him to something that he was able to hold on to made all the difference for this young man. And those are extreme stories, but these are the types of impacts that you can have on a child's life. So on that note, since none of you have any questions, comments, or anything, and you all got so shy, I think that we're going to have everyone on screen, and I think that we are going to unmute you, but I'll be right back. Give me half a second. At least if we're going to do this by video, we might as well do it right. So we're going to unmute you, and we're going to have everyone on screen. And you're all going to repeat after me. And when I say I state your name, you are going to state your name. And repeat after me. So now I need the right script. Okay. I'm putting myself on gallery view. Okay, please. Are we unmuting everyone? Unmute yourself. So if you are CASA staff, you are video off. If you are a new CASA being sworn in, your video on and unmuted. Lisa, you have to unmute. There you go. I was just, sorry. I know your name. You actually have relatives in Toronto. They have like 17 Emmy Awards from last weekend, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, please raise your right hands, new CASAs. Repeat after me. That's the wrong one. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I
Do hereby swear
do
do
hereby
hereby
swear
hereby swear
that I will truly and faithfully
that
I will truly and
truly and
faithfully
faithfully
perform the duties
perform the
perform the
duties
duties
of court-appointed special advocate
of
of
court-appointed
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 special
special
advocate
advocate
on all cases
on all
Okay.
cases
on all cases
to which I am appointed,
to which I am
which I am appointed.
that I will do so
I will
do
do so
I will do so
according to law
according to law
according to law
and the policies of CASA of Los Angeles,
and the policies
and
of
policies
CASA
of
of Los
Los
Angeles,
Angeles,
that I will always act
that I will always act
always act
best interests
in the best interest
in the best interest
of the child or children
of the
of the
child
child
or
or
children
children
for whom I am appointed.
for whom I am
for whom I
appointed.
am appointed.
Mazel tov. Hey, everyone. Okay. Now, while I still have you here and while I still have my robe on, as court-appointed volunteers, you will have access to dependency court legal files and proceedings. As you know, these files and dependency court proceedings are confidential. You are charged with the responsibility of upholding the confidentiality of these cases. You are not to discuss these cases nor reveal the identity of these children with any persons other than those individuals who are rightly involved in the case. This would include those court personnel, social workers, family members, the child's, not your own, attorneys, or other professionals assigned to the case. So please raise your right hand again and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do
solemnly
solemnly swear
to uphold the confidentiality
to uphold the
confidentiality
Confidentiality
of the information contained
of the
information
information
contained
in the legal files
in the legal file
legal files
and all other case information
and all
and all
other
other
case
case
information
information
that comes to my attention
that comes to my attention
during the course of my work
during the course of my work
as a court-appointed special advocate.
as a court-appointed special advocate.
special advocate.
Congratulations. Thank you. Michael, I'm very impressed. You're the only one who stood up for your oath. Are you standing?
That's the illusion.
Okay. And I don't know why I'm sitting here holding paper since it's in the chat and I can read in the chat. Congratulations. Now we have like the really great part. This is the part where I call your name and you walk up and we shake hands and we take a picture holding a certificate I hand you. And then we have your family members come up. All of us take a photo together. And actually, the last time we did this in person, I will tell you, we were no longer doing handshakes. We were doing the elbow bumps, and we were no longer standing too close for the picture, but still taking pictures together. So I am still going to call your names one by one to acknowledge our new CASAs today. And why don't you either tell everyone, well, one, please tell us if you have any family members who are or friends who are watching and give them a shout out. So one is the shout out. And two, why don't you tell one of the two following things, either how you found out about CASA or what you do for a living. And sometimes the what you do for a living is really great because sometimes we have people involved with museums or education, and it's good for the other CASAs to know they have those people as resources. Some classes we have a whole lot in entertainment industry. So first up, oh wow, CASA intern. That's very exciting. Rebecca Kahn.
Yes.
And I know you have to run because you have to get to class. So
Yes.
please.
Yes, my name is Rebecca Kahn, and my current thing that I'm doing is going to school at California State University Northridge, studying social work.
Go
And-
Matadors! Studying social work.
Yes, studying social work. And I am, yes, currently an intern at CASA LA,
And are you in bachelor's or master's program?
a master's program.
Are you in the CalSWIC program?
Yes, I am.
Are you graduating in May?
No, I'm graduating in May of 2022.
Okay, so in April or March of 2022, I will see you in Luis Curiel's class one day.
Yes.
Congratulations. For
Thank
anyone
you.
who doesn't know about the CalSWIC program, it's this incredible Master's in Social Work program at a lot of California universities that your master's program is totally free, and you have to commit to doing an internship. So if you do a 2-year program, you have to commit to 2-year internship with either DCFS or some other agency. Great program. So we know what you're going to be doing.
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Teen Brunel.
Hi, how are you? So my name's Teen Brunel. I am a director on the Dr. Phil show. Dr. Phil and Robin are both former CASA volunteers, and that's how I learned about the program. And I've been working there for now, I think 14 years. And my job is to interview the parents, the guests, the children that come on the show with their issues.
Great. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, any people watching?
I think my husband's watching in the other room.
And you left that out? Rebecca, anyone watching?
No, I don't have anyone watching.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you. And our Director of Development, Marie Carpenter, congratulations. Who do you have watching? How long have you been with CASA? What else do you want to tell us?
Hi, I've been with CASA for 8 years. And my child was watching, but she kind of ran out the room, I think, because someone called her to play a game, an online game with her. So she said, that's okay, I'll watch it later. Yeah, I mean, I've been with CASA for 8 years. However, I did not ever do training. And it's an amazing thing to go through. And unfortunately, I didn't even realize that until now. So it's awesome.
And, you know, even Wendy, the executive director, has been a CASA, went through CASA training. And at this point, I don't even know what percentage of the CASA staff actually have gone through the CASA training, but I've got to figure it's at least half at this point. And it's pretty amazing, over half, well over half. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not allowed to fundraise, so I won't tell anyone if they want to write a check to talk to you. Lisa Marie Eckert.
Hello, I'm Lisa Marie Eckert, and I heard about the CASA program through relatives who work in the court system in Cook County in Illinois. And so that's where I first heard about it, and then realized that it was a not completely nationwide program, but it was all over the country. And I read that Los Angeles County had a lot of need. So I decided to start pursuing it. So here I am, and I don't have anyone watching.
And we do have a lot of need. Our judges have caseloads that are 2 to 3 times the rest of the judges in the state, and our social workers and children's attorneys are very overworked. So it's great that you're doing this. Michael Glasgow.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Glasgow, and I became aware of the CASA program probably a little over a year ago. I was just watching the news, and there was a local human interest story, and it was featuring CASA and really explained about the program. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to be able to do some hands-on activism, and helping out kids. So right now, I'm pretty sure I have my mom watching. Hey, Mom. And perhaps another relative or two and some friends.
Great, thank you. I've been started as a lawyer in the system in '92. And last year when Wendy did the press conference, and which also led to some news outlets deciding to do some of these public interest stories, I think that press conference is the first time CASA may have ever held a press conference in the last 30 years to talk about the need for CASAs and to get visibility for the program. It's really amazing. Glad we found you.
Yeah, I'm glad I found you guys as well.
Victoria, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. Is it Kogel or Kagel?
Kagel.
Kagel, I was going to say Kagel. Victoria Kagel.
Thank you. My name is Victoria Kagel. I work at a store on Rodeo Drive in fashion. And I actually heard about CASA through the event that I was going to volunteer at in March, which was helping dress students for prom. It was canceled because of COVID. And so I decided to just go all in and do the training. And my dad is watching. He's a lawyer, so he's very excited.
Great. You know, I think we discussed a lot of this when I came to your class, because I remember the Dr. Phil show, and I remember talking about the Glamour Gowns program, and that the Glamour Gowns program was started for girls to have dresses for prom, and then it was expanded for boys to have outfits for prom too. And it's a great program. So you started as a volunteer, and now you're taking a bigger volunteer role. Congratulations. Thank you. Jennifer Kriske.
Let me unmute myself. Hello. I found out about CASA through a dear friend of mine, Kristen Zeisler, who knows Wendy, I think through her time as a lawyer. So she turned me onto this program. She just thought I would find it really fulfilling because I guess just through my own background, I have a soft spot for children that sort of fall through the cracks. And then also being like single woman with no kids, I always had this idea that children would be in my life, just maybe in an untraditional way. So it seemed like a perfect opportunity to join a program like this.
Great. Anyone watching? I forgot to ask Victoria. Anyone watching?
Kristen might be. She was going to try and log in between clients. So.
Hi, Kristen.
Yeah.
Okay. No relation to Mark Kriske?
No, we spell it differently.
Okay. Channel 5 News. Yesterday was his 9-year wedding anniversary. His wife posted that she's now the longest surviving wife. Judith Lovingfoss.
That's really funny. I'm Judith. I am in real estate, so that has not prepared me at all for being a CASA. I found out about CASA through a Google rabbit hole where I was looking to be a mentor, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America led to me realizing I wanted something with a little more substance. I think my fiance is in the lobby watching this, and knowing him, he probably sent the link to everybody. So I don't know who's watching. And yeah, I'm super excited to be of service and to give some guidance to a kid who needs it.
Great, thank you. When's the wedding? I have a robe.
Oh, well, COVID, who knows?
Thank you. Giselle Mariscal.
So I'm Giselle, and I'm also in real estate, actually. So funny that I went right after Judith. I found out about CASA through Instagram. I think somebody posted like about a training and they tagged CASA. So I just went on their Instagram and I kind of started like researching everything. Probably for like a week, I was like on the website like every day reading about it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sign up and go for it all the way. So I did. That was like 2 weeks before like I did my whole application and stuff. And then my sister is probably watching, so.
Hi, sis. Congratulations. Thank you. Jessica Mita.
Hi.
Hi.
Shout out to Tim, my boyfriend, who's watching in the living room. So I am a marketing manager at Too Faced Cosmetics. I was born and raised in LA, and I've always really had a passion for mentorship and empowering children. And really this year I was looking for a volunteer opportunity. And just, you know, through savvy Google searching, came across CASA, and it's been really, really a great experience. All this training has been very powerful, and I'm super excited to get my hands dirty. Yeah, so I appreciate the opportunity, and congrats everyone.
Thank you. It is, the training is very, in many ways, has you look within and question your own values and how you view the world, and also things that are foreign to you. It's pretty amazing once you do it. Dina Namias.
Hi, I'm Dina Namias, and Ed Namias is a board member of CASA. Former, and I actually we just finished the justice jog, and I've been recruiting people to become CASAs. I have quite a few, and I've been very aware of what remarkable work has been done. And people would always ask me, oh, so are you a CASA? And then I'd say, actually, no. And then I realized, well, I shouldn't just talk the talk. And now seeing, going through the whole process, I'm so impressed with first of all, the participants. I think all of you are really outstanding. I'm so proud that our 30,000 children in Los Angeles will have somebody out there, to know their name and to be part of the organization and to actually make a difference. I'm even more excited about what we do.
The work you've already done recruiting and helping him fundraise and donating with him and everything else has impacted kids already. Don't sell yourself short on that. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And then we have longtime former board member Ed Tompkins.
We don't have anybody watching. I joined the board in 2012. I retired and was looking for opportunities to give back to the community. And it started out with early childhood development. And then I got introduced to CASA by a longtime CASA that we sat together on the Center Theater Group board.
Judy Beckman.
Judy Beckman. I aged out, no, I should say I termed out of my board work and was then looking for another opportunity that I could still stay deeply involved. I still sit on the finance committee, but as Dina said, we've been talking CASA for 8 years, and it's time for us to really walk the walk. So, and I too want to congratulate this class and Emily on her leadership. No one told me how much, out of all the people we recruited, they never told me how much work it was.
Yeah.
But it's been very, very rewarding.
It's a lot of work, and it's great to have couples and best friends who do it. Years ago, there was a couple who got assigned to a case together when I was a lawyer, and the person who assigned them together got in trouble because they were each their own CASA. Well, eventually they ended up together being the CASA of the year, and CASA's done couples and best friends doing cases together ever since. So it's really great. And Judy Beckman and my parents are longtime friends since she's a winery owner and my dad.
Oh yeah,
we love it.
Beckman Wineries, Los Olivos.
That's it. And my dad owns restaurants in LA. Like if any of them were ever open one day. Capo, I miss Capo so much. Next, Lydia Randolph.
Hi, I'm Lydia Randolph. I don't have anyone watching. I heard of CASA LA through a good friend who's been a volunteer with CASA Orange County for several years. And in my former career with a national youth organization, I had a donor who felt very strongly about CASA LA. And I always thought, I should probably be spending my time with that organization. So I also salute Emily for your leadership, and it's been a real pleasure to spend the past 5 weeks and to really be immersed in information that I didn't have before. So I appreciate that.
Emily is awesome. She was a star in her class 2 or 3 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Is that it? Wow. Star 1 year ago, star in her class, and now she's like leading your class. Next up, Ina Roberts.
Hi, I'm Ina Roberts. I heard about CASA through a friend's daughter who's studying to be a lawyer. She's known that I've always wanted to work with children, and I was looking for a volunteering opportunity. So thank you, Jessica. I know my husband's watching. I have family in New York that is hopefully watching, and a couple of friends. I am a CPA. I have been for as long as I can remember. So in business, 25 years.
Great. And I agree with what Lynn just put in the chat, which was what an amazing group. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone in New York. Danny Yang.
Hello. So no one's watching for me, unfortunately, but I'm still excited to be here. So for me, I found out about CASA LA, not LA, but CASA SF, I guess, when I was in school back in 2018. And like throughout college, I did a lot of outreach stuff and volunteer work where I worked with the youth, and I felt like it really resonated with me. So I really wanted to continue that on. So after I graduated, I moved back to LA and worked as a mechanical engineer. And after a couple of years, I felt like I was stable enough to jump back into the volunteer programs. So here I am doing, I did the 5 weeks of training with Emily and everyone here. And it was a fantastic time and then learning lots of good stuff.
Great. And Lisa, I didn't forget you. I figure you earliest talked about your out-of-state friends and family, and I made the joke about all of our Emmy Awards now being in Toronto with the cast and crew of Schitt's Creek. Lisa Dela Cruz.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa. Happy to be here. I learned about CASA years ago through my church organization, of which I volunteer at with my daughter. I also have some colleagues at work who are part of the CASA LA organization. So it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to be in this role. I work in an investment firm in downtown LA, working from home right now. And I have a cheerleading squad with me. As you said, Your Honor, I have some people from Toronto. But first, I wanted to show my biggest inspiration, my daughter here, who inspires me every day, especially in this role to advocate for children, Layla. I have her father, I hope, is watching as well, Omid, and my friends, Herman and Eric. And I have all my family, my parents are in Toronto, Canada, I think. My mother, who is an advocate of advocates, who's volunteered for the needy in her 30 years. And so I draw my inspiration from her. And last but not least, I have cousins in Elk Grove watching as well. Hi. And last but not least, there is my mentor, Dr. Chris Paul. I think he's on. He's a CASA currently, and my mentor for 20 years in my professional career. So he's stuck with me to learn more about the CASA organization. And congratulations to my fellow classmates.
And on that wonderful note, congratulations to all of you. And what I'm going to do right now is put on my mask and go back on the bench. And thank you all very, very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank
And
you.
congrats, everyone. Yay. Yeah, this has been an awesome group. So thank you all so much. So as I did mention earlier, there are a few people that would like to say a few words to you. So first up, we have our CEO, Wendy Julian.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for being here and for all the time and effort that you have spent in preparing and learning and opening your minds and thinking about this really serious endeavor, but an endeavor that I feel confident, based on my own experience as a CASA, will be something quite rewarding for you, in addition to asking very much of you in terms of your own personal growth. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to the CASA family. I have to say, these graduations are always emotional and exciting to me, even pre-COVID, and when we're doing things in person. You know, it means we get to take a child off of our wait list, which is so crucial. And each and every one of you will make a tremendous difference. And I'm going to tell you a couple of stories that are very different from the stories that Judge Seidler just told you, in the sense that we obviously, you know, over 40 years of CASA of Los Angeles, have some really extraordinary stories of. There was one on Instagram with my friend Barbara, who's a CASA, about a kid she advocated for who got into 12 universities, and those things do happen. It also happens that there are tragedies, and it also happens that the cases can be very frustrating. And just this week, two things happened that I think are very telling about the nature of the CASA program and our values, and most importantly, the incredible family of over 1,000 CASA volunteers that are joining. One is that I got a call from a CASA named Mary Jane, who happens to, in her day job, be an investigative reporter. That's the only reason why I got connected with her. She has great support from her advocate supervisor. But the young woman she is advocating for is 19, in extended foster care, and has a baby, and got kicked out of her placement and left without a place to go by the department, literally on the street. And so fortunately, because of a very generous donation that's paid for by our board chair, we have some funding available, and we were able to get her an Airbnb for a couple of nights. And then Mary Jane's extraordinary work with advocacy with her social worker, the supervisor for her social worker, and all the way up to the director of DCFS, got her into a placement. What was interesting to me about the call is that Mary Jane was laser focused on her one case. And she said to me, she said, so like, is this a thing that young people are, you know, still in foster care or aging out of foster care into homelessness? And I was like, yeah, yes, Mary Jane, it's a thing. It's actually a tremendously huge macro problem in Los Angeles in particular because of our housing costs, but across the country. And what was so incredible about it is that it took one person to fix one young person's problem. And I don't think I have to tell you what the potential long-term consequences of her being homeless with a baby would be. Because obviously you get into the cycle in which she would very likely be at risk for losing her own child to the same system that she's in right now that's causing her stress. So the implication of one person, one CASA volunteer fixing this problem for one young person has a tremendous long-term impact, not just on this young woman, but on our community, our society, our social services, but on the way that we all interact with each other. The second, it was an email that I got from one of our amazing supervisors this week, which was for me I ask the supervisors sometimes to have me give a phone call to CASA volunteers who are either doing something really great or could maybe use a little pick-me-up about the work they're doing. And this was the latter. She said, could you please call my CASA and just give him a few words of encouragement because he's really having a rough time in his case. And what's ironic about this is a CASA who was our CASA of the year for the same case a year and a half ago. And I tell you that because he was on a high a year and a half ago with these incredible outcomes. And right now, really going through some difficult times with his young person. And he's there. He's walking side by side with him. He's helping him with the really complicated things that are going on. And none of us know whether this is going to have a happy ending or not. I mean, I regret to inform you, none of us know if any of our lives are going to have happy endings. I don't even think that's possible. But what I do know is that this young person that he's advocating for has someone that he can count on in the good times and in the hard times, and for big things, but most importantly for small things, for little details that change the whole trajectory of a young person's life. So you have not signed up for an easy volunteer job. I think you probably have figured that out already. And for that, I am profoundly thankful. But what you have signed up for is something that's going to change the whole world around you, because even the small things that you're going to do for the young person that you're advocating for, or the young people you advocate for over time, will have such a tremendous impact on their lives, on their families' lives, on their children's lives, on their ability to be self-sustaining and to enter adulthood successfully, to have loving, permanent families, and just the simple fact of having one caring adult in their life that they can have a positive relationship with. So I'm extremely thankful. I will say today's graduation is a little more emotional for me than usual because there are two people graduating your class who, between the two of them, have given a very significant piece of their life to the CASA program. One of them is Marie Carpenter. And, I just did a quick back of the envelope calculation, and Marie has worked at CASA for about 17,000 hours. So she has fundraised and done events and supported everyone. And to see you graduating today is just, everyone, the staff members know I am not a crier, actually, but I'm deeply emotionally moved for you to be finishing this. And I think the reason I'm so moved about it is because we believe really strongly at CASA of Los Angeles in our core values. I'm sure you've heard them ad nauseum. You know, I think Emily has them tattooed on the back of her arm, maybe. Well, I'm just kidding. I don't think anyone has tattooed the core values yet, but we're close. And among those core values are the values of deep love and justice, which run through every single thing that we do. The way that we talk about our kids, the way that we embrace our CASA volunteers, the way that we share with each other as staff, and the way that we are able to move forward advocacy to improve our community. And Marie embodies that in everything that she does. And the second person is Ed Namias. And Ed has been on the board, as he said, which sounds like a boring thing that no one really knows what that means. I'll tell you what it means. It means that he has put himself out there professionally, personally, and in his case, financially over decades to support the organization in a sense of leading us towards what our mission is and where we're going. And, you know, hiring me, which I'm greatly appreciative of, and making sure that he served as the treasurer for many years, and as he said, is still in the finance committee, that we have enough money to pay our salaries this year, but also to be able to financially support the organization for decades to come. And so for a volunteer who has spent so many years with so little recognition in terms of not being a CASA, to now be able to be fully recognized as the CASA is fantastic. And congratulations to both of you. And then I will end just with a very funny story about what I want all of you to be, which is about Dina. So Dina is not lying when she said that she's a great advocate for CASA. And this is what I'm asking from you today, is to do everything that you can to help us advocate for CASA in addition to advocating for your child. So you're going to hear from all of my amazing colleagues, and you'll also get to meet your incredible advocate supervisors today, or just like the smartest people I could have ever imagined to work with. But what we need from you all is two things, in addition to your blood, sweat, and tears and advocacy. We need money, and we need other CASA volunteers. So if you can help us do that, that would be amazing. This is my Dina story. I get a call from Ed, and he says, so Dina has a new contact for you. And I said, great, who is it? And he says, it's her orthodontist. She was telling him about CASA. And I'm like, what? How does a person tell their orthodontist about CASA? Like, hi. I'm just picturing Dina, who talks about CASA everywhere and everything she's doing, including with her orthodontist, who is offering free services to our kids. So if Dina can talk to her orthodontist, you all can talk to your neighbors and your partners and your children and your parents and everyone about CASA, and follow her lead. So I will close with this, and I just want to say, I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. Judith and Giselle, who said that real estate didn't prepare you for being a CASA. I'm going to formally disagree with that because I think the skills of negotiation and filling out forms are a fantastic preparation for being a CASA. And I think that's absolutely what all of you bring to this world, is all of your background. We have an incredible CASA who is a software engineer. You know, that's not something you would think prepares you for it, who says that the job of the CASA is to be dismayed and unbelievably angry about things that happen to children in our community. And all of you are prepared to do that. So thank you, Emily. Thank you to all of you. And I'm so excited for you to get matched with your supervisors and of course with the kids. So have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Wendy. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah, we just have a few more people who are going to speak with you. So this person you're familiar with and has already just spoken. So Marie Carpenter, she is our Director of Development. So maybe you can say a few words to them.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So hard to follow Wendy always. And thank you so much for those awesome words and encouragement. So congratulations to all my classmates. Some of you may not have caught that, you know, during class that I do work at CASA. Well, until now. Now you all know I was actually the mole in the class. I was spying on all of you. No, but really, I am actually so grateful for all of you. I always am reminded every time I speak to a graduating class that there is a lot of good in the world. You know, whenever I meet all of you who are doing this all as volunteers, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. And now I really know how to say that because that training was intense. So very humbling to be your classmate. I do also want to take this time to thank Emily as well. Again, we would be doing these classes in person, and you know, our entire training team too would be doing all of this in person, but it's all online. We had to quickly do that so, you know, we can continue our mission to serve more kids. They have so much knowledge, so much patience, and I really just want to acknowledge that. What an incredible team of coworkers that I have. So you really inspire me. So my team and I, you know, we manage our fundraising and marketing efforts for CASA. You know, we are a nonprofit organization. We receive funding from individuals, businesses, foundations, some civic groups, and all donations are to sustain and support all our advocacy work. So, you know, we can continue to grow. You know, there are so many children in the child welfare system in LA County, and we're trying to reach, you know, all of them. So today I do ask if you have the means or if you would like to make a donation in honor of graduation, I do invite you to do so. I know some of you already did make the additional donation when you pay for your background checks. So just want to thank you all for that. We have a monthly donation program that you can also opt into if you like. That way you don't have to worry about it. Really, we are looking to grow a group of monthly donors because it does provide us with a very reliable source of income. But again, you know, we know you're giving so much of yourself as a CASA volunteer. And, you know, it's also so much more special when you make a donation. So we are grateful for you no matter what. But the one thing, you know, sort of like what Wendy said, you know, there are many ways to support CASA. And one of the ways is just to really keep your eyes and ears open out in the community. You know, there are lots of companies who have matching gift programs. They match your donation dollars. They also match sometimes your volunteer hours. There are very generous companies here, sort of, one is Capital Group. You know, they have been amazing supporters of our work. We have a number of those who are volunteers, and they match their hours, just their volunteer hours, and it's great. And Ed has retired from Capital Group. So, you know, there are also companies that have you know, that want to sponsor an event, or they also may have a foundation. So again, you know, if you're connected to a foundation or a company that can do that, if you know someone who would like to donate stocks to, send them our way. Another way is through community partnerships and events. So this is where something's already happening, you know, an event's happening, they're looking for a charity to partner with. There may be a local business that you know of who donates proceeds from sales. You know, their Donut Friend, if you know any of you familiar with Donut Friend, they do a charity donut every month, and we benefit from it every year in February. We also have partnered with Mohawk Ben, where they create a pizza every month for charity. Obviously, all of these things are looking very different. You know, everyone is taking a hit because of COVID. So, you know, if there is anything out there, if you hear of anything, just let us know how we can help partner up together. The other thing is that we do have our own.
Don't forget a real easy one, Marie. Amazon Smile.
Yes.
So every time you click that little button, if you log in and make CASA your charity on Amazon Smile, which is a separate login than Amazon, but it's all related. It's the same screen.
Yeah, I mean,
you get a little piece of your action.
Yes, Amazon Smile, you're already buying something. Amazon Smile will donate the proceeds, does not ask you to do it. Also, if you have a Ralph's Club card, there are a number of those, and also vehicle donations, things of that nature. So we just have other events that we do throughout the year. We have a wine and art event. We have an AV benefit. It's all benefiting our efforts in Antelope Valley. We have a team there. And we also have our annual gala, you know, your rubber chicken dinner, we always like to call it, but we get to dress up. And, you know, nowadays, you know, all will have some sort of virtual component to it. So if, you know, there's someone who's not comfortable being in a space like that, in an event space, again, who knows what's going to happen. you can log on and just watch it from the comfort of your own home. So, lots of ways to get funding. And if you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I appreciate all of you. If you take any photos from today of graduation, we're very active on social media. So just tag us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marie. Thanks for the kind words as well. I really loved you being in the group. It's been awesome. Come back anytime. So Marie's contact details are in the chat. Lynn just popped them in for you. So yeah, feel free to reach out to her. Next up, we have our Manager of Outreach and Recruitment, Angela Doherty.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I am so excited that you all have graduated. Now I challenge each of you to fill your virtual seats. Fill your virtual seats. Let them meet Emily. She's amazing. CASA is amazing. And I'm so glad that each of you have made it through successfully. Your advocate supervisors will be amazing and they'll walk you through every step of the way. But I am here and my team is here to invite you to the info session or to invite your friends to an info session or create a house party, whatever it is we could do in order to help you spread the word and get more CASA volunteers in and through those seats or to the seats or the virtual classroom. We want to invite everyone. So welcome, congratulations, and I'm excited for what's to come. And I'm excited for you to send more people our way. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. Yeah, they've been doing an incredible job. So we've got lots and lots of volunteers coming in. Thank you for everything. And I think we have Lynn Gabriel, the Director of Volunteer Services. Is Benjamin still there?
He's not. He just got his ninja costume. He got his ninja costume delivered, and so he put it on and has been going to the neighbors and showing them his ninja costume. And of course, he just heard his name, so he's right here.
Yay! Hi, Benjamin.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Well, you've met Betsy Ann and Emily and Angela and probably Kayla and maybe Taina and the rest of the people on Angela's team. So this is all part of my team. So now you know that I don't do anything because I have this amazing team. So that's been good because I have a ninja doing Zoom classes at home. But I was a volunteer for 10 years before I started working at CASA about 9 years ago. And so I know what you guys are in for. And it's going to be the hardest, best thing that you've ever done. I loved being a CASA so much, and I'd always wanted to be a foster parent. So the day I got relieved off of my last CASA case, I got my certification as a foster parent. And 2 days later, I had Benjamin in my home. And 2 years after that, I became an adoptive parent. So I'm all in. I'm all in on this thing. And I'm so excited to see such an impressive class. You guys are amazing. And it just really sucks that it always has to be virtual right now, because I would love to meet each one of you face to face and talk to you. So I will have to wait to do that. But just know that I congratulate you. And I thank you so much for what you're about to do. And reach out to our team anytime if you want to tell us stories, talk about what's going on. You'll have amazing support from your advocate supervisor and the whole advocacy team, but we are always here for you too. So congratulations and thank you to all of you.
Thanks, Lynn. Okay, and we're just coming to the end. And so Megan Maddock, you met her in session 2, and she's our Chief Program Officer, and she'll just introduce the supervisors to you. Hi, Megan.
Hi everyone. It's great to see you again. You made it. Congratulations. I appreciate all of the work that you've done so far, and I can't wait to see you on this next part of your journey. As you know, I have a background in social work. I worked for DCFS before I come into CASA, and I can truly say that I would have loved to have any one of you as a CASA on one of my cases. Would have really helped in those moments where I was crying in my car and needed someone to help me with what was going on. But we have 5 amazing supervisors on the call on this virtual graduation today who are going to be supporting you. We have Ben, Joseph, Monica, Mika, and Leslie. And your supervisors are incredibly trained and professional and amazing human beings who will be guiding you through the next step. So after we say our goodbyes at the end of this call, you'll be broken into breakout groups, those fun breakout rooms, and you'll have a chance to speak and meet with your supervisor individually, and they'll go through the process of what it looks like to be matched with a child. So that will all be happening momentarily. But again, I just want to say thank you. It's been great to meet you and get to know you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you go. Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, Megan. Yeah, so we've come to the end. So do please keep in touch with each other, and yeah, keep me in the loop. I always love to hear from previous trainees. So yeah, don't forget me. Yeah, and so thank you to our friends and family that are on the live stream. And I hope that we've inspired a few of you today to join us. Thank you and goodbye.